Hello, everybody. It is August the 2nd, 2020, here on the Wrestleview YouTube channel. This is Wrestleview Weekly. Hello, everybody. Wow, am I bright and have a lot less hair. Yeah, I just got a haircut, and man, did they take like 5 pounds off of my head. Holy hell. Hello, everybody. I am Doug Lackey, veteran columnist of Wrestleview.com and co-host of Wrestleview Live, alongside the effervescent editor-in-chief of Wrestleview.com, Mike Tedesco, where we cover all of the major WWE pay-per-views immediately following them right here on the Wrestleview YouTube channel. How is everybody this weekend? I am old. Yep, my birthday was last Friday. Took the day off from work, so I had myself a good 3-day weekend. Oh boy, a lot of stuff happened on the weekend. I got new lighting. Yeah, brand new key lights up here in the corners. So now I'm no longer orange. I am whiter than white and very reflective on the brow. But hey, hey, we're getting professional, kids. We're getting professional now. Now, the only thing I can do is just, adjust some of the sounds.
Hey, Kayla!
We'll get there. It's getting there. Yes. So I had a fantastic birthday. Had lunch with Deanna's family Friday. That's when I got my birthday presents, these key lights, and had fun setting these bad boys up. Then went out to dinner with Deanna. Friday night, had me some fabulous seared scallops with risotto. Oh, that was good. But, so here I am, and a lot of you were thinking, Doug, it's your birthday, you should take the day off. No, we don't do that. No, just because I'm, ever since I turned 15 or 16 years old, I've always worked on my birthday. So no days off, Doug. I guess that's what I am. That don't sound right. NDOD? No, that don't sound right. So, here we are. Who cares? We're just going to cut loose today, because today we're going to be doing something a little different for Wrestleview Weekly. First off, going to be doing some program shifting a little bit. I've decided to nix completely reviewing television shows. Okay, completely nixing the reviewing NXT or SmackDown or AEW or something like that. And instead, just gonna pick my top 5 things that you should check out from last week's television, whether it involve Raw, NXT, AEW, or SmackDown. Gonna do that instead, and also give my also got to know what else is happening around in the worlds of the wrestling and the things. Also going over the news. Lots of stuff happening when it involves, and unfortunately we had some passings in the professional wrestling world, so go over that, but also some great news that was just put over the wire 5 minutes before I went on the air, so some good news to post for Wrestleview News, for the news segment. The WWE milk carton had a slight mistake on the milk carton, so we're going to... I've got to do a retraction on there. So, milk carton is alive and well and pretty full. And then finally, so 2 Fridays ago, Kofi Kingston on Friday Night Smackdown told Big E, I am going to be out for 6 weeks due to injury. And since Xavier Woods is out for injury, it's about time you do you. You do you. You go in the singles competition. You do something for yourself. You've been so selfless and always for the group. It's about time you do you. And so, ever since that episode 2 weeks ago, we decided, you know what? Let's try booking Big E's singles run. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to fantasy book Big E's singles run. He's already had his first match last Friday for his singles run. It was against The Miz. And he was victorious. And so we're gonna kind of do some fantasy booking a little bit, but also revisit Fantasy Booking 101. For those of you who do not know what Fantasy Booking 101 is, well, now you're gonna know, because we're gonna do it here. Okay, before we get into all of that, got to get into the pleasantries. If you're in the chat room now, you say wee. If you're not in the chat room, there's not a damn thing I can do about that. I saw y'all filtering into the chat room. I know you're in there. I know you want to let yourselves be known. Where are you? Where are you? There's Jamel. I see it with the little E at the end of the wee. Who else is in there? I see Mashoon with the happy birthday haircut. Yeah, I got me a happy birthday haircut. Make me lighter on my feet, more aerodynamic. I see CJ. I see Gills. I saw Daniel. Who else is in there? Come on. I know it's really hot here near Charlotte, so I know you guys got to be inside doing absolutely nothing. What are you doing? Why aren't you in the chat room? The hell's your problem? By the way, if you're watching this, whether it be live or on demand, whenever the hell you want to watch it, dude, could you like this video or subscribe? One of the two. Or if you want to do both, it doesn't matter to me, but just do it. We don't spam you. We don't ask for much. Tim McCain in the chat room going, wee, sorry it's been too long. No, it's okay, dude. It's okay, Tim. You're always welcome back. We don't stop. And we won't chastise you or anything. Okay. So, and yes, Jamel, thank you for reminding. Yeah, share it too, if you want to. If you'd like to. Shane Arnold in the chat room asking me, wee, what's up? I'll tell you what's up. Daniel's right up there. So, sources. What are the sources today? Well, as many of you know, professional wrestling news sites always cite that their exclusive sources had let them in on knowing what's the real deal in professional wrestling. This was supposed to happen. This should have happened. This is what's happening back there, but only at Wrestleview do we double and triple check our sources to make sure that our news is fresh for your consumption. And it's no different here because my sources are not watered down like other sites. Mine are straight to the core. And today, we are going to dip into the birthday present that Deanna got me. Yeah. Talisker Single Malt Scotch Whiskey. Yeah. Talisker is what we're going to dip into. We're going to dip into the scotch is what we're going to do today because it was my birthday. So, damn it, that's what we're going to do. Let's see. Do we got a descriptor here? Yeah, look at that bottle. 10 years aged is what this guy is. 10 years aged is what we got here. Here we go. I don't know. Do I have a Scottish accent? Can I bust out a Scottish accent on this one? Let's see what I can do here. From the rugged western shores of the Isle of Skye comes a richly flavored maritime malt with a warming afterglow. So easy to enjoy, yet like Skye itself, so hard to leave. Distilled at Talisker, the only distillery on the Isle of Skye, Scotland. ABV on this guy? Guys, it's a scotch, man. Do we really need to? 45.8 alcohol by volume is what that is. 45.8. Usually, when you get into raw liquors, they're usually about 40, I know with Absolute Vodka, their blue label is 40, and I believe their red label is 60? The red label is 60 or 80. But yeah, we are doing an ABV of near 45. 45.8. So yeah, here we go. You bust out your highball glass with the baseball molded ice cube in there. That's what you do. Here we go. I like the sound effects. Oh, there we go. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so we put that guy in there. You only bring it to the tippy top of the glass there. Tippy top of the ice ball. There you go. I'm loving this one. Jamel, yowie wowie, good thing there are no shots. No, you're right. I've learned my lesson for taking, if I was going to be doing shots, I've learned my lesson before. I used to follow, chasing shots with Johnny Walker was not good. So, no. We're going to do this. So, here we go. Cheers to everyone. I know shit about professional wrestling. That's why we're doing this. Hi, Andrew. Ooh, that's not harsh at all. Very smoky. Very, very smoky. Oh, there's that after hit. There's that aftertaste. It's not as distinct as Johnny Black. Kind of reminds me of Monkey Shoulder. Monkey Shoulder Scotch is very good. Reminds me of Monkey Shoulder, but this one is not as smoky as Monkey Shoulder. So, yeah, that's going to be, oh, this is good stuff. I'm going to try to savor this. I think Deanna said she got it. It was like $70 is how much this was. Yeah, that's about as much as Double Black, Johnny Double Black. Oh, that's very good stuff. This is going to help us in the fantasy booking realm. Okay. Time to get in the show and this new format that I'm doing. Top 5 things to pay attention to from last week's wrestling television. This involves Raw, NXT, SmackDown, and AEW. CJ, so the ending of SmackDown finally made sense to me. Well, we're going to get into that. Can we just get into let's get into the stuff right now. Starting us off with story number 1, and I want to kick it off with AEW, is what I want to do. Yes, on AEW, we saw the debut of Zack Ryder or Matt Cardona. We also saw the debut of, remember, Cameron? She's there too. However, the one match to pay attention to, or the one thing to pay attention to, was Cody Rhodes' defense of the TNT title against, he's been doing kind of open matches, I guess is way. Whoever wants to challenge him can come in, do it. Last week, it was Eddie Kingston in a no DQ garbage brawl. 2 weeks ago, it was Eddie Kingston. Last week was the debut of Warhorse on AEW. Warhorse is an independent wrestler. He is the IWC champion. I think that is really the indie wrestling champion. I believe that's the name of the federation, or that's the name of the title. Not sure. But Warhorse is I believe he's about a 7-year veteran, 8-year veteran, something like that. But he is a throwback to mid-'80s, late 80s wrestlers, where he's got this heavy metal, hair metal vibe to him. You know, he's got the face paint on that's almost like the Ultimate Warrior, torn off denim jacket on the sleeves, but he's a slim guy. I think he only weighs like maybe 215, something like that. He could be a little critter. But Warhorse, this guy is fun to watch, okay? Absolutely fun to watch. Check out, there's a documentary about him on YouTube. He's real fun to watch, and he's very basic, okay? The entire match that he had with Cody was very, very basic. No incredible high-end spots, no destroyers or anything like that. But the big thing I will say about Warhorse, he has got a phenomenal top rope elbow. Phenomenal top rope elbow. And it was a very good match between the two. We knew Cody was going to win. But check out the Warhorse match. Check out his stuff. It is very basic, easy to digest. So, yeah. That's highlight number 1. And I figured I'd want to get something from AEW, and this was absolutely something worth talking about and paying attention to. Story number 2. Check out who's in the ring there to greet Undisputed Era from last week's episode of NXT. That's Imperium. That's Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel. Did you know that they were the NXT Tag Team Champions? Did you know that? I sure as heck, I've totally forgotten. They had won the tag team titles of NXT's variety back in March. This is only their 3rd appearance on American television since they won those titles. And here they are, getting swarmed by UE. This is the tweet that NXT put out. Ready or not, here they come. No, one big thing to note is that one person to retweet this, not but 5 minutes after it was posted on Twitter, was the NXT UK champion, Walter. So, brace yourselves. We might be having a rematch from the When Worlds Collide pay-per-view of Undisputed Era versus Imperium. I miss Walter badly. Okay? And so this is why I'm bringing this. That's why I'm bringing this up. For number one, it's only the third time since March that Imperium had won the NXT tag team titles that they're on NXT. But here we go. This does not mean that Walter is going to be in NXT and in the States. Just as much as rumors have gone around, and even he himself has said it. First off, Tomato Chomper has said that he would never go to the main roster, that he wants to stay in NXT. Do people believe that? I'm not sure. I could believe that. I'm pretty good. I'll buy that. I'll buy that. But Walter has stated that he has no intention of coming to the main roster because he wants to stay in Europe. That is a completely different story. And yes, Jamel reminded me, NXT is the main roster. However, there's a difference between NXT UK and NXT, and that is a humongously vast body of water that Walter does not want to go across and stay. He wants to stay in NXT UK. So, Walter to me is an absolute special attraction. You only get to see him once in a blue moon. I cannot wait to see Walter once again. It'll be great. I can't wait. Definitely enthused. Number 3. Highlight number 3, something to pay attention to from last week's television. Hey, that's Nia Jax. And she's got a beef with Shayna Baszler. Nia Jax in the ring on Raw last week. Nia Jax off the milk carton. We hadn't seen her since she lost in a Raw Women's title match to Asuka almost about a month ago. But before that, everyone was known for her as the Waifu Destroyer, where she destroyed Kairi Sane and all of the internet blew up. And absolutely hated that she would hurt everyone's favorite waifu. Well, now everyone's favorite waifu is no longer with the WWE, and so is everyone going to be mad at Nia Jax? Well, they think again she's too rough in the ring, but God, going against Shayna Baszler, who's going to be rougher than that? So we got Nia Jax versus Shayna Baszler that went to a double countout. Match never ended. This was not on my radar at all, okay? A lot of us in our minds were thinking that Shayna Baszler or Nia Jax was going to take out Kairi Sane and forever be the waifu destroyer. No. Kairi Sane went off into the sunset at ringside during Asuka's match where she lost the Raw Women's title to Sasha Banks. And the week before that had her actual final match against Bayley. So, we have this. Why do we have this? I'm not sure, but I'm digging it. Acer in the chat room going, wee! I am all for it. And I'm normally not for heel-on-heel matches. You know, who are we exactly supposed to root for here? Who are we supposed to pay attention here? I'm not sure, but I'm going to dig it. I'm going to absolutely dig it. Will they be able to contain themselves in an actual match? Probably not. We might get a cage match out of this, guys. I got a feeling we might get a cage match for this. A special ref for the next match, asks Andrew. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get a special guest ref on that one. I think a steel cage is imminent. I think we're going to have the next 2 weeks. Actually, here until SummerSlam, they're going to keep trying to have a match, and it just spills to the outside. It's just slap fest, garbage brawl. That's what we're going to get. And they'll just end it with, all right, cage match. Give them a cage match. I got to see this. I am psyched for this one. I am totally psyched. It's a great way to build both of them up. And putting it in a cage match, I think, protects them both very well and can build them up for inevitably going up against Sasha Banks, whether it be Shayna Baszler or Nia Jax. Either one. It's going to be fun. But putting it in a cage match protects the two of them, so cannot wait for that one. Highlight number 4 is the one that I think everyone is talking about right now, but it is not my number 1 thing you should be talking about. But This is the one everyone's talking about. Highlight number 4. So the Fiend is back. Yeah. Apparently he emerged out of the swamp 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, whatnot. After Nikki Cross versus Bayley for the SmackDown Women's title, not Alexa Bliss is at ringside and Sasha Banks at ringside, and the match is over. Nikki Cross lost. Nikki Cross pushes Alexa Bliss out of the way, who's trying to console her, walks out of the arena, and Alexa is there in the middle of the ring by herself. Lights go out, and that horrible, high-pitched sound comes on to the PA. Enter the Fiend, and there she goes, Alexa Bliss, having some dirty fingers shoved into her mouth. I'm sure that made a lot of guys very happy. It's disgusting. I know it's disgusting, but I'm sure some guys got their rocks off with this or whatnot. So this is the main story. This is the big one that everyone's talking about right now. What are we supposed to take from this? Well, yes, this is going to bring Braun Strowman out of the swamp and go after the Fiend. But what does this mean for Alexa Bliss? So many inferences can be made here. Could she possibly join forces with the Fiend and become the brand new Sister Abigail? Could she just be the damsel in distress that's on the railroad tracks and Dick Dastardly, a.k.a. The Fiend, is there, and out comes Dudley Do-Right, Braun Strowman? This is interesting. I can't really say that there's going to be a change for Alexa Bliss in this at all. I think the damsel in distress thing is what's going to work. But at the same part of me, though, if it's damsel in distress, gosh, we know that swerves happen so easily when it's a damsel in distress program, okay? It's done all the time. Stephanie McMahon, Trish Stratus, Lita. It happens, okay? This one can be no different. This can be no different. Damsel in distress and Alexa Bliss just kicks Braun in the nuts and the Fiend wins the title. Something like that. Or it can go to a DQ or something. Who knows? Something like that. But it's something to think about. Where would I put Nikki Cross? Nikki Cross, I don't think really factors into this. Now she's kind of to the side. She feels alone. She's frustrated. Incredibly frustrated, doesn't know what to do. This is where Nikki Cross absolutely could do a swerve as well. So, does the Fiend get a girlfriend? Does the Fiend get a girlfriend, and who could it be? Could it be Alexa? Could it be Nikki? Nikki falls better in line than Alexa does, that's for sure. I think this would help Nikki Cross way more than it would help Alexa Bliss, to tell you the truth. Alexa Bliss is fine. And the other thing, too, though, is Alexa Bliss's ring time has been cut incredibly. They are not wanting to have Alexa Bliss in the ring much with fears of concussions. That's their big one. So, what do? Do we take advantage of not having Alexa have a lot of ring time and have her be a manager to Braun Strowman, or be the new Sister Abigail, or a fledgling Nikki Cross? Do we have her align with Bray Wyatt? She has nothing to do with Braun Strowman. So what do? I've got a feeling all those questions are going to be answered in SummerSlam. That's going to be 3 weeks from now. So that'll be when I make some really horrible predictions, and I'm sure I'll be taking a shot at tequila to that. So there you go. That's highlight number 4 from wrestling television. Put Nikki Cross on the commentary table to replace Beth Phoenix? God, yes. I'll take Nikki Cross doing anything involving a microphone. Absolutely. So, but that was highlight number 4. Highlight number 5 for me, and the one that I think was the big thing to pay attention to, had a lot of milk carton implications, we finally brought the program back to the forefront. And man, do we have a lot of stuff that we can do with this. I am talking about Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. All right, first off, you're telling me the best written program you've had on SmackDown this entire calendar year is on television, but it hasn't been for a month? What? What? Mandy, first off, Sonya Deville off the milk carton. We hadn't seen her for nearly 6 or 7 weeks. Mandy Rose and Otis got off the milk carton when they said that they were going to have some more lovey-dovey crap last week. After this throwdown and hair cutting of Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose is getting checked on by refs. And who is there to check on Mandy Rose as well? Tucker! Tucker! Where the hell did he come from? Tucker! Off the milk carton! Haven't seen him for nearly 7 or 8 weeks, almost 2 months for that matter. But also, on the side, were Miz and Morrison throwing out puns galore and the aftermath of this. All right. Take off the glasses. Compose yourself a little bit. Take a sip of the sources. Here we go. All right. So, Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose is back on the blotter. All right. Immediately, everyone going on this is hair versus hair match. I got no problem with that. Also, there's going to be a lot of Teddy Long specials going on with this. A lot of Teddy Long specials. You're going to see some mixed tags, some 6-man tags involving Heavy Machinery and Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville and Miz and Morrison.
Now, if all 4 of you want to mix it up, then we're going to do it right. I'm going to make this a tag team match.
That's what we're going to get. We're going to get a lot of Teddy Long specials for probably the next 3 or 4 weeks. I do not see... Here's the thing. We got 3 weeks to build until... 3-week build to SummerSlam. Okay? Do we want a hair versus hair match in 3 weeks? Can we do that? Absolutely, we can do that. If we did do that, Sonya Deville's losing. Without a doubt, Sonya Deville is losing. Okay? Without question. But there's so many implications to this. All right, because now we're bringing all of this back out. Miz and Morrison are involved now as well. So we could have Heavy Machinery versus Miz and Morrison. That could push those two. Heavy Machinery, Tucker, and Otis. With Otis still holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. Sonya Deville could still come up positive on this if she lost a hair versus hair match. After shaving her head, she just comes back and beat the crap out of Mandy Rose. Just keeps on continuously beating the crap out of her. Sure. And she could be on her own this time. She doesn't need a mouthpiece. Dolph Ziggler wasn't even a mouthpiece 2 months ago. He just stood there and smirked as she talked. Sonya Deville's got her. Okay, she's got her. She can take care of herself. So how are we booking all of this? Mandy Rose will find a way out of this mess and continue to be with Otis, and Otis having the briefcase. Sonya Deville will try to come up the ranks. I can see her in a clusterfuck title match for the SmackDown Women's title. I don't see her teaming up with any females to go for the tag team titles. I just don't see it. CJ saying Sonya Deville just beating the piss out of the entire roster. Well, got Shayna Baszler doing that on Raw. I don't know if we can have her do it. Right now, Sonya Deville stalking and just demoralizing Mandy Rose was what we needed right here. But the big thing is a hair versus hair match. Sonya losing that match will look way more menacing and be way more vindictive and more vile than any of the females on the entire roster. God, it's going to be fantastic. Watch SmackDown this Friday for this program. That's it. This is the only program you should be paying attention to on SmackDown. Period. End of discussion. That's it. Ebony saying Sonya gets shaved and she tried to shave all the blondes in revenge. Well, I don't know. I could just see her just, after she gets her head shaved, just beating the piss out of everyone. And Shayna Baszler then is focused on going after the Raw title. So now you've set the differences between Shayna Baszler and Sonya Deville. You can't have two of the same characters on two television shows. So, and Ebony, yep, you're reading my mind. You got Sonya Deville, bald Sonya Deville going after Carmella, Dana Brooke, Tamina potentially? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely do this. Absolutely. So, brace yourself for a hair versus hair match for Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. Please. If they aren't doing it at SummerSlam, it'll be at Payback, which they just announced is going to be the pay-per-view following SummerSlam. So, that would not shock me either. Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville at SummerSlam, hair versus hair at Payback, which will be that's 6 weeks from now, I believe. So, there you go. Those are my 5 highlights from professional wrestling TV. Oh, and, by the way, meanwhile, in Japan, a near 8-foot-tall inflatable panda bear is destroying DDT Pro's roster. Meanwhile, in Japan. Oh, by the way, I did not mention it in last week's show. Yoshihiko traveled across the pond to perform in New Jersey for GCW, where Yoshihiko faced Joey Janela in a match to main event their show, and it was revealed then that the handler for Yoshihiko was Lio Rush. So Lio Rush is now with GCW. So, yeah, Japan. I love this shit. I love this wacky inflatable, this wacky cartoonish shit in Japan. I absolutely love it. I'm going to have to find this match. I love DDT. DDT Pro is fabulous. Okay. So those are your highlights for the television shows. No more recapping or anything like that. You know, it drains us. It drains you. You're so much better than that. So, those are the highlights. Pay attention to it. Hair versus hair match. Ooh, can't wait. Finally, okay. On to the news. Had some unfortunate passings in professional wrestling, but some really great, joyous news came down the pipe not but 10 minutes before I went on air. Numerous passings in the professional wrestling world last week. Started off with last Friday, the announcement of the passing of English pro wrestling veteran Mark Rollerball Rocco, who passed away at the age of 69. Started as an amateur wrestler at 16, competing in southern France and Pakistan. Worked for Joint Promotions, All-Star Wrestling, New Japan, where he was known as the Black Tiger. Mediocre Lewis in the chat room going, wee! Rocco was a regular on British TV's ITV's World of Sport from January of 65 for 20 years going into September of 85. He had matches with the Dynamite Kid, Iron Fist, Clive Myers, and Marty Jones. Matches that gained international attention. They caught the eyes of New Japan. There he took on the Black Tiger persona. And he would wrestle many matches with Tiger Mask. There is no known cause of his death. Later on that day, many would issue statements regarding the passing of Rollerball Rocco, including William Regal, who would tweet this last Friday. I'm woken to the terrible news that my friend and colleague Mark Rollerball Rocco has passed away. Mark was so ahead of his time, and whether him as himself or the original Black Tiger, he, along with Marty Jones, were the true originators of the fast-paced, hard-hitting junior heavyweight style we see today. In 78, I saw a match of theirs, and it took my wrestling fandom to a different world. Becoming a friend and getting to wrestle Mark at 18, a dream come true. Mark had an unbelievable maybe believable work ethic in and out of the ring, and my life was better for knowing him. There aren't enough words for me to explain how much it means to me to be fortunate enough to have known him, wrestled him, and explain how much he meant to the British and worldwide wrestling scene, and I just wished I could have won more of the hundreds of car rides I had with him hold court with his wonderful stories. My deepest condolences to all of Mark's family. WWE would also issue a statement regarding the passing of Rollerball Rocco, mentioning that he had a lasting influence on William Regal and Flash Morgan Webster. He also had many matches with Jushin Thunder Liger, Dynamite Kid, Fit Finlay, and the, again, original Tiger Mask. There's Rollerball Rocco as Black Tiger in New Japan. I think I want to research some of his matches. I think we'll do that. I think we'll look up some of those old ITV matches. Yeah, I think we'll check that out. I think we'll put that on the docket sometime to check out some Rollerball Rocco matches. 'Cause I am very unfamiliar with ITV's World of Sport. I'm very unfamiliar with it, so I would love to check out some old stuff like that. Yes, Mediocre Lewis, I got a haircut. I feel very light and very lightheaded, and it's not from the sources. Also passing over the week was Kat LaRue, former NWA and AWE wrestler in the 80s and 90s. It was first made public by Brittany Brown on social media. Not known what she passed from, but she had been experiencing issues with her liver. LaRue broke into wrestling in 86 after being trained by Walter Killer Kowalski. Her first big moment came later that year as she competed in a battle royale at AWA Wrestle Rock, which was won by Sherry Martel. Scary Sherry. LaRue was a frequent opponent of Misty Blue Simes, and both were brought in by Jim Crockett in 87 to compete on the Great American Bash card. After her run with Jim Crockett in 88, she would continue to work the independent scene into the mid-90s. Maybe some more matches I need to find. There's a lot of stuff I need to find on these talents that are passing away, because I feel out of step. You know, because I know these people are important, very important. Becky Mullen, original star of the 1980s Glow promotion, passed away at the age of 55 last week. It was reported by TMZ Sports. She was diagnosed with cancer back in October of 19. She was part of the inaugural season of Glow in 1986. After finishing up her run with Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, she made acting appearances on Married with Children, Mad TV, Renegade, and Pacific Blue. She also appeared in the 1991 music video for Van Halen's Pound Cake. That's a great video. That's a great song. Love that song. But yeah. Becky Mullen, known as Sally the Farmer's Daughter from Glow. Andrew saying we need to watch some Glow matches. Oh God, I remember some matches from Glow. I remember watching that when I was like 7 years old. Came across it when I was like 7 or 8 years old. They were horrible. They were really, really bad. You know. And I could not tell. The only talents that I remember from Glow is Sally the Farmer's Daughter. It's one. Olympia. She was like a female bodybuilder. Yeah, her name was Olympia. A Big Mama something. I can't remember. There's a Big Mama something. I can't remember. And they also had a voodoo-themed wrestler. Yeah. Jamel asking, wasn't Ivory in Glow? Yes, Ivory was in Glow. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. So yeah. Do I want to check out some Glow matches? Not really. Not really. I really don't. They are really bad. They're very, very bad. All right, enough of the bad news. Let's just go into some angry news. People leaving comments that they know nothing about finances. WWE released their quarterly report, their second quarter report. Revenue is down from 2019, but year-to-date revenue is up 14%. Year-to-date, it's up 14%, but it's down compared to last year. Revenues were down to $223.4 million as compared to $268.9 million from previous year's quarter two. Company blames the timing of the company's large-scale events in South Dakota. I'm sure if they only had those events in South Dakota, their revenue would be up. Sure. April to June. The heart of COVID. And the reason they say revenue is down is because they couldn't perform in South Dakota. It has absolutely nothing to do with spiking Nerf ball. It has nothing to do with the loss of gates for live shows. It has nothing to do with that. Yeah, absolutely. Revenues reached a record $514.4 million year to date. That is a 14% growth. Operating income increased to $55.7 million as compared to $17.1 last year. That is because of COVID. WWE Network average paid subscribers declined 1.5% to be at 1.6 million, while ending paid subscribers increased 6% to be at 1.69. So 1.7 million subscribers to the WWE Network right now. Digital video views increased 10% to nearly 10 billion. Who cares? In the face of the spiky Nerf ball pandemic, the company's short-term cost reductions and cash flow improvements led to enhanced liquidity. It helped their business to furlough people and release over 25 performers, decreasing their main roster, which had been at 166 after WrestleMania. By the way, speaking of those furloughed people, they are going to be furloughed into late August of this year. According to a report by Dark Overlord Dave Meltzer at F4Dub, the WWE has extended the furloughs. In April, Vince McMahon announced the layoffs of many producers and many agents. There was rumor that they would be coming back at the end of July. Well, here we are. No, they're not. Do not expect them to be coming back until spiking Nerf ball is contained. That's what I'm saying. Jamel saying they could stand to shave the main roster down some more. They could, but then my milk carton segment would be very, very small. Hey, let's have some fun in the courtroom. There was a mistrial declared in Jeff Jarrett versus Anthem Sports and Entertainment. As per a new report by PW Insider, U.S. District Court of the Middle District of Tennessee Chief Judge Waverly D. Crenshaw Jr. officially declared a mistrial last Thursday in the Jeff Jarrett and Global Wrestling Entertainment versus Anthem Sports and Entertainment lawsuit. Anthem filed a mistrial after the verdict came in from the jury claiming that Jarrett's attorney had prejudiced the jury by noting that Anthem's Ed Nordholm was not present on July 20th for court proceedings and brought up numbers during the liabilities portion of the closing arguments when it had been stressed by the court that those were to be left for discussion when it was time to cover potential damages. Judge Waverly set a September 11th status conference to begin the process of setting up a new trial. He also ordered that GF Dub amped tapes be preserved. It was also noted that while the jury came back with these verdicts, they have yet to award damages or punitive damages, and Anthem is attempting to have everything thrown out of court to restart the entire trial process all over again. Yeah. This is just a complete waste of time and a complete waste of money. Just an absolute complete waste. As mentioned earlier, last week saw the finale of Kairi Sane's run with the WWE. She posted farewell messages all over the Twitter. A very heartfelt 3-minute long video of the YouTube's Variety was put together by the WWE involving her departure. Here she is tweeting out you can check out all the tweets. It's kind of old news right now. Everyone's favorite waifu is gone, and everyone's going to blame Nia Jax. Let's scroll down and see. It's easy to just assume she's leaving because Nia shortened her career. But the two biggest factors I think contributed was, one, she just recently got married, and I think Kimura died. A part of her really felt like she needed to be in Japan. No. First off, Nia Jackson, quote-unquote, being injured prematurely has nothing to do with this. Kairi Sane is in her 30s. There's a clock ticking inside that tiny little body that says that she wants to procreate. She just got married last year. She wants to start a family. Can't start a family overseas and be working in America. She's got to take priorities. I don't blame her at all. More power to her. More power to her. So, everybody's favorite waifu wants to have a tiny human in her tum-tum, and she's no longer your waifu. Speaking of weirder waifus, AEW Chris Statlander, is her gimmick being an alien or something? I don't get what she is. She underwent surgery last Tuesday for a torn ACL. There she is, giving thumbs up in the mask and a big old thing on her leg. So there you go. Let's talk about people who are going to different companies and maybe shifting gears a little bit. Former Evolve star Leon Ruff, who would occasionally get the crap beat out of him by numerous performers on NXT like Karrion Kross and Dexter Lumis, has now signed an NXT contract. So kudos to him. Also, the Retro AG Anthony Green, former Evolve star, has signed a contract with WWE NXT. 26-year-old Anthony Green. How old is Leon Ruff? Oh, he's got to be in his 20s as well. So, new youngins coming to the NXT front to get the crap beat out of them. And we mentioned earlier, Cameron and Matt Cardona, a.k.a. Zack Ryder, made their debuts on AEW last week, but officially signing to AEW over the weekend was Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston has now officially signed with AEW. I have got to tell you guys something when it comes to Eddie Kingston. First off, he's fantastic on the mic. We don't have to talk about that. Fine. We don't need to talk about that. All right? He's fantastic on the mic. We know that. But can I just say, his eyebrows wig me out. Why is it that his eyebrows are so perfectly drawn on? Whenever Eddie Kingston talks, I focus on his eyebrows for some reason. They are perfectly shaved, drawn, lined up. It just looks weird. It's just got a weird look to me. I don't know what it is. Maybe I just pay attention too much to those things. I don't know. But it's just really, really weird. Plug your fingers in your ear holes. I'm going to spoil for you someone who's going to be showing up on AEW, but you probably don't care. Taynara Conti is going to be making her debut on AEW on the episode of Dynamite when they're doing their women's tag team cup tourney thingy. Taynara Conti back in April posted a video on the YouTube saying that she was fired by the WWE in the middle of the pandemic. Blah, 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 blah. There you go. So, yeah. Also debuting on another organization, TNA, Impact Wrestling, they're getting Heath Miller, also known as Heath Slater. So they're getting him. So more former talents of the WWE going to TNA, or there were former TNA talents that went to the WWE and now are going back over to TNA. I don't know. There's so many people that are going everywhere. Speaking of people going everywhere, Cody Rhodes decides to open up a development wrestling camp. Nightmare Factory is what it's called. AEW issued a press release, I think it was last Friday. No, it was last Thursday. AEW issued a press release last Thursday announcing that the Nightmare Factory wrestling school led by Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall. Quick Trip Marshall? Gas Station Marshall? Will offer 3-month training camps to propel the next generation of professional wrestling talent to do set spots and backflips for no reason whatsoever. Starting on Monday, September 21st through the 25 aspiring male and female wrestlers are going to take part in a 3-month curriculum. So there you go. Nightmare Factory with that logo looks like, first off, there's a brand new tattoo that everyone's going to be putting on their bodies for no reason whatsoever. And again, Nightmare Factory sounds like something that a theater student would create who loves Tim Burton way too much, you know? Somebody who watches Invader Zim too much would come up with something like this. The name and the logo and things. This looks way too what is it? This looks way too Black Parade to me. That's what this looks like. This looks like way too much like My Chemical Romance than anything else. No, that's okay. That's okay. Speaking of, we spoke earlier of ladies passing away that were Glow. But speaking of Glow, they were nominated for 3 Emmy Awards last week, including Outstanding Supporting Actress. Revealed today. Yeah, let's see. What have they been nominated for? They've been nominated for Outstanding Production Design for a Narrative Program and Outstanding Sound Editing for a Comedy or Drama. So there you go. Glow could be winning some awards, some Emmys. There you go. And finally, the good news. The good news. Just reported it on Wrestleview 10 minutes before I hit the Stream Now button. Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella have welcomed their second child into the world yesterday. They did. It's their second child is a boy. Was born on Saturday, August the 1st. The couple has not revealed the name of the child yet. Bryan has been off television in recent weeks to be with his wife, going far along in her pregnancy. And there's the picture from the Brie shielding the boy's face because Michael Jackson. So yeah, another tiny human into this world by professional wrestlers that everyone will now hope to see by the time this child is 10 years old, will be able to perform cattle decapitation on a newborn puppy. Well, that's what everyone hopes for. Seriously, that's what everyone's hoping for. Wouldn't you love to see a tween, like a preteen, trying to perform cattle decapitation on a house pet? That's what everyone's going to be hoping to see on the TikTok, if it's still around. Or the YouTubes. Or the Instagrams. I don't know. That's just a dream of mine. What can I say? Don't kill my dreams. It's still my birthday. All right, go over the list of the injuries. Razar of AOP with a torn bicep. He's not going to be back until SummerSlam times. Becky Lynch has a tiny human in her tum-tum. She's not going to be back until WrestleMania times. Jinder Mahal, reparative surgery on the same knee where he ruptured his patella. He's not going to be back until October. Edge, torn tricep. He's not going to be back until WrestleMania times. Charlotte Flair, cosmetic surgery on really bad boob job. She's not going to be back until Survivor Series. Lars Sullivan, his knee was destroyed a year and a half ago. ACL, MCL, PCL gone. He is still on the main roster. Haven't seen word one of him since. He has no social media, no nothing, but he's still on the main roster. Mediocre Lewis wants to wish me a happy mediocre birthday. Oh, well, thank you, Mediocre Lewis. Kalisto had a separated shoulder way back when. I think it was back in January or December, something like that. He should be coming back around SummerSlam times. Xavier Woods with a torn Achilles. He should be back around SummerSlam times. He's going through very good amounts of rehab. But Ember Moon, we're going to have to adjust her coming back date because we're not sure if she's coming back. Her Achilles injury was way more severe than Xavier Woods's. Either she's not coming back until Royal Rumble or her career might be over. Jimmy Uso, reparative knee surgery on his right knee. He's not going to be back until Survivor Series times. Elias, third injury in the past 2 years. Torn boob, torn pectoral muscle. He's not going to be back until WrestleMania times. Boa, the Chinese male performer of NXT, torn rotator cuff and labrum. He's not going to be back until SummerSlam. And finally, Jessamine Duke, when she is not in the crowds cheering every single WWE television taping, she is recuperating from reparative elbow surgery on both elbows, and she won't be ready to go until SummerSlam times. So, those are the people that are hurt. What about the people who aren't hurt? What about the people who are perfectly healthy? What about the people who haven't been on TV, WWE TV or pay-per-view or otherwise for, say, 3 weeks? They end up on a very special list. We're filling up the sources here because we got to get ready for the list. They end up on a very special list of my own design. A list that potentially, I think, may span about 45, 46 performers. We don't know where they are, though we can imagine why they aren't on television. You'll come to understand when you see the very first people that show up on this list. You come to grow and love it. You know you can't do without it. It's the WWE milk carton.
Oh, I can't think of anything to say. Happy birthday, Doug, you son of a bitch.
There we go. Yeah, gonna have to excuse me here. I totally forgot to bring up my database here. There we go. Dana Brooke. Haven't seen her since the July 10th episode of SmackDown. What was happening on that July 10th episode of SmackDown, you may ask? A really horrible karaoke segment that also involved Tamina and was hosted by the healthy Uso, Jey Uso. There are reasons why people are not on television. That karaoke segment is definitely one of them. Last week we had Jey Uso had not been on television since July 3rd, and that was a misnomer. No, he took part. He was actually on television that week because I think that was the debut of Matt Riddle, I believe, and he was at ringside for that match against AJ Styles. So yeah, karaoke segment. Ugh. Drake Maverick. Haven't seen him since the July 8th episode of NXT where he took part in a 6-man tag Teddy Long special.
Now, if all four of you want to mix it up, then we gonna do it right. I'm going to make this a tag team match.
Where he and Breezango teamed up against El Legado del Fantasma. El Legado del Fantasma has been on TO 205 Live. Breezango has occasionally shown up on NXT, but Drake Maverick is nowhere to be found. Isn't everyone glad that he got his job back? Mia Yim, haven't seen her since that same episode on July 8th of NXT, where she had a big old throwdown against Candice LeRae. I don't know where she is. All that I know that she's been doing is she's been staying at home, streaming on Twitch and playing video games. Isn't that what they all do when they aren't on TV? They're on Twitch playing video games. Everyone. Doesn't everyone do that? I don't know. I don't know what game she plays. I know I liked her channel, and now I'm constantly getting alerts that she's streaming, so I think I'm going to unlike now. Apollo Crews. Current United States champion Apollo Crews. Haven't seen him since the June 29th episode of Monday Night Raw, where he had a match against MVP, and then he was apparently, quote-unquote, injured by Bobo Lashley's full Nelson. He has not been on television for that long time because everyone apparently believes that he has the spiky Nerf ball. Don't make any assumptions. Who knows? He could be hurt. Who knows? We haven't heard anything from the WWE, especially when it comes to spiky Nerf ball. WWE doesn't say a damn thing when it comes to spiky Nerf ball. Ugh. Casey Catanzaro. Haven't seen her since the June 24th episode of NXT, where she teamed up with Caden Carter to face off against Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai is the only one of these 4 women who are not on the milk carton. The other 3 are on it and have not been seen on television since that match. The only reason they had that match was to build up Dakota Kai so that she is kind of a big deal to face Io Shirai, where, though, if you watched that tag team match, the only thing everyone was talking about was how Raquel Gonzalez one-arm power-bombed Casey Catanzaro into oblivion. But after she powerbombed her into oblivion, Dakota Kai tagged in to put on a needless submission to win, which was then why they had the match in the first place. I think Dakota Kai is utter crap. I do not buy anything that she sells, and we haven't seen any of these women since that match. Why? I don't know. There's no reason. Why aren't they on TV? Well, I guess Dakota Kai is supposed to be a big deal, so she has no one by her side like Raquel Gonzalez, unless Raquel Gonzalez has the spiky Nerf ball. Indus Sher, we haven't seen them since that same episode of NXT on June 24th, where they were being spoken of by Malcolm Bivens, who hasn't been on television since either. First off, Indus Sher is not on television because they are covered in green. They are not good in the ring. Malcolm Bivens hasn't been on TV because he's really green on TV. What the hell is Michael Bivens? I don't know. If he's supposed to be a menacing brainiac, like a very, very smart guy, that is not the face of a smart guy. The face that I'm showing here. This is on the WWE roster page. This is the face Michael Bivens is giving us as a heel manager. Ugh. Austin Theory. Haven't seen him since the June 22nd episode of Monday Night Raw, where he was in a segment involving Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins. I think he was sitting in a chair next to Murphy ringside. He is another one of those people that are rumored to be taken in by the spiky Nerf ball. No, it couldn't be because he could possibly be injured. We're not sure. We don't know. But yeah, this one I'm really curious about. Why isn't he on television? I mean, he was just an auxiliary role. If he's hurt, he's hurt. Just say that he's hurt. Liv Morgan. Haven't seen her since that same episode of Monday Night Raw where she had a match against Natalya. Where the reason for that match was that Lana was at Natalya's ringside during that match to have those two team up. Unfortunately, Lana has not been on television because almost her entire family has come down with spiky Nerf ball. So she is with her family and quarantining along with them. But Liv Morgan and Natalya, on the other hand, not so much. We haven't heard anything that's going on with them. I think Natalya is back across the border in Canada doing stupid YouTube videos with her female friend. I don't know.
Oh, Tyson. Make sure the camera's on straight. Oh, Tyson.
Liv Morgan, though, I don't know what the hell's going on with Liv Morgan. She's still posting really cutesy. She's the new waifu. That is everyone's favorite new waifu now. Mojo Rawley, haven't seen him since the June 19th episode of SmackDown where he had a match against Shorty G to confirm that Shorty G was a thing. Well, Shorty G is a thing now because he did something for himself on last Friday's SmackDown where he assaulted Matt Riddle after Baron Corbin and Drew Gulak's match that had absolutely nothing to do with Mojo Rawley's match 2 months ago. Danny Burch, haven't seen him since the June 17th episode of NXT where he, alongside Oney Lorcan, ran in during Breezango's tag team title match against Imperium only because Indus Sher ran in and interfered. We haven't seen God, that's so confusing. We haven't done anything with them because Oni Lorcan had been doing stuff with Timothy Thatcher so that we could build up Timothy Thatcher. Indushare is green. Brizongo is doing wacky, funny stuff. And Imperium is staying put across the pond so they can do something with Undisputed Era. Ugh. Clear the palate. Xia Li, haven't seen her since the June 17th episode of NXT, where she faced off against Aaliyah and will forever be known as the projectile vomit match when Robert Stone got on ringside and projectile vomited to distract Xia Li. Tomato Chomper, haven't seen him since June 7th's NXT TakeOver in Your House when he took a powder to Karrion Kross. Are we expecting him to make his return? Probably. He's taking some time off. He's a grizzled old veteran at the grizzled age of 35, and Lord knows how many surgeries he's had. He's taking time off. Forgotten Sons. They sure as hell are forgotten. Haven't seen them since the May 29th episode of SmackDown where they gave a monologue and some wacky-ass salute. Reason we haven't seen them is because 2 days after the disgusting death and murder of George Floyd, Jackson Riker took to the Twitter to praise Donald Trump for all the great job he's been doing as President of the United States. Yep, and that's why you're not on television. Chelsea Green. Haven't seen her since the May 27th episode of NXT, where she teamed up with Charlotte Flair to take on Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley in a Teddy Long special.
Now, if all four of you want to mix it up, then we gonna do it right. I'm going to make this a tag team match.
After that match where she was victorious, she would fire her manager, Robert Stone. Since that time, Robert Stone has been on television every week. Smooth move. Chelsea has either got to be injured or she's got the spiky Nerf ball or something else is happening. We have no clue. Kushida. Haven't seen him since that May 27th episode of NXT where he took part in the triple threat match to determine who would be the finalist for the Little Critter interim title thing. It was him, Jake Atlas, and Drake Maverick. Drake Maverick ended up winning it. Normally, if you lost a match to Kushida, you would be abducted by Los Conquistadores and thrown into an SUV. But what happens when you're Kushida and you lose a match? Are you abducted by Kai and Tai and thrown into a Subaru? We don't know. How's that for references? This one's peculiar. Shane Thorne. Haven't seen him since the May 11th episode of Monday Night Raw, where he took part in a 6-man tag Teddy Long special.
Now, if all four of you want to mix it up, then we gonna do it right. I'm going to make this a tag team match.
Where he teamed up with MVP and some guy with the last name of Vink to square off against Cedric Alexander, Richard O'Shea, and Apollo Crews. Nothing came of that at all. But one thing, though, Shane Thorne will officially be off the milk carton this Wednesday when he squares off against the big thick boy Bronson Reed. Carmella, haven't seen her since the May 10th Money in the Bank women's ladder match. She is too busy doing crap with her boy toy Corey Graves doing podcasts. Hasn't done a damn thing on SmackDown. In fact, there have been segments where SmackDown women's performers are complaining that there's nothing for them. And she's not one of them complaining because she's not on TV. Prepare yourselves. She is now going to be fodder. She is going to get jobbed. She's going to be taking the powder to a very angry Sonya Deville. Titus O'Neil, haven't seen him since the May 4th episode of Monday Night Raw, where he took part in a gauntlet match to determine the last contemporary in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match that would be later on that Sunday. It doesn't matter about Titus O'Neil. I'm sorry. He is too busy saving the entire city of Tampa Bay. He has fed them. He has clothed them. He has educated them. He's given them all jobs, given them all a home. He has basically revitalized all of Tampa, and I believe he himself is battling spiky Nerf ball. In fact, he is giving everyone who has spiky Nerf ball face masks and sanitizer and a pat on the head. I don't know. Pete Dunne. Haven't seen him since the April 15th episode of NXT, where he showed up on a big giant television screen to tell Matt Riddle that, hey, I'm across the pond and can't travel, so in my place to defend our NXT tag team titles is some guy with wacky teeth named Timothy Thatcher. This would lead to Timothy Thatcher being a thing. Pete Dunne is locked away across the pond in England, where, of course, he cannot travel, and also he's trying to figure out what the fuck is going on in Britain after the speaking out movement. He hasn't been accused, but he's reading the right of a lot of people. Bork Laser, haven't seen him since night 2 of WrestleMania, where he lost the WWE title to Drew McIntyre. We are not going to see Bork Laser until COVID is killed. Sami Zayn, haven't seen him since night 1 of WrestleMania, where he defended his Intercontinental title against Daniel Bryan successfully. He has since then been stripped of the Intercontinental title and is across the border in Canada, being very vocal socially and politically on the Twitter. His job is still secure. I'm very sure of that. Riddick Moss, haven't seen him since the March 23rd episode of Monday Night Raw, where he was jogging in middle-class white suburbia and then got pinned by R-Truth to lose the 24/7 title. We have not seen him since then. Is he still in middle-class white suburbia? It's been 4 months, okay? Did he not have the keys to his home in his tights? Has anyone fed him? Just leave bowls of Fancy Feast on your doorstep, and you normally, when you feed a stray Riddick Moss, they never go away. So please take him into your home, feed him, and then alert the authorities to let us know and let his loved ones know that he's been found. Roman Reigns. Burden, 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 burden. We haven't seen him since the March 20th episode of SmackDown, where he signed a contract with Goldberg to face Goldberg for the Universal title. That match never happened. Instead, it ended up being Goldberg versus Braun Strowman. Roman Reigns has not been on television since March the 20th because he is caring for his family during the crisis of the spiky Nerf ball, and he's afraid that his twins might be affected. So he's being there with his family in quarantine with them, even though he lives in Florida, and even though there are many other performers who are there in Florida with their families who live in Florida. It can't be because he had leukemia and he's more susceptible to spiky Nerf ball than anyone else on the roster. So just admit it. It's okay. But I forgot that WWE has never mentioned the word COVID or the number 19 ever since this has happened. Grizzled Young Veterans, I am not going to bitch again about their horrid placement on the NXT roster. They are supposed to be a thing on the NXT roster. They are not a thing. They are across the pond in England. They are on NXT's roster page. Yet they haven't been on TV in nearly 5 months. Just switch them back to NXT UK. No one will notice. AOP, even though Razar is injured, I'm counting them both. We haven't seen them since the March 9th episode of Monday Night Raw, where they took part in a bunch of Teddy Long specials.
Now, if all 4 of you want to mix it up, then we gonna do it right. I'm going to make this a tag team match.
AOP, Viking Raiders, Seth Rollins, Murphy, Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens, take your pick. Any kind of Teddy Long specials, tag team, 6-man, 8-man tag they had for 5 weeks straight. Poor guys, I miss them. But you know what? That's okay. Because there are other tag teams, monstrous tag teams that we can like. I think. No, there aren't any. Tag team wrestling has taken a powder in the WWE. But that's an argument we've made almost every year. Robert Roode, haven't seen him since the March 8th Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, where he and Dolph Ziggler teamed up to try to win the SmackDown Tag Team titles in an Elimination Chamber match. He is trapped across the border in Canada at the ripe young age of 43. Marina Shafir, haven't seen her since the March 4th episode of NXT, where she shoved a stick through a steel cage to help her hubby, Roderick Strong, beat the crap out of Velveteen Dream. Don't know what happened there. Velveteen Dream, haven't seen him since his car accident a month ago, and still have not heard word about Wahapa in that car accident. So, who knows? Nafisa Dot saying, wee, it is flippin' hot. We just had a spot shower outside. I heard it. Mansoor, haven't seen him since the February 27th Super Showdown event out of Riyadh, Jeddah, Bismarck, South Dakota, where he fought Dolph Ziggler, further conveying the fact that Mansoor only performs in his home country of South Dakota. Kona Reeves, haven't seen him since the February 19th episode of NXT, where he was destroyed by Keith Lee in less than 25 seconds. Vanessa Bourne, haven't seen her since the January 15th episode of NXT, where she took part in a battle royale of the vagina persuasion to figure out who would go up against Rhea Ripley for the NXT women's title. Bianca Belair would win that battle royale. Vanessa Bourne, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Take a sip of the sources. We're dipping into 2019. Bo Dallas, haven't seen him since the November 15th episode of SmackDown, where he, Curtis Axel, and Drew Gulak were in the ring making fun of Braun Strowman leading into Survivor Series. No idea what's going on here. It's amazing whenever Bray Wyatt's mug shows up, everyone keeps thinking that Bo Dallas is going to appear and fight with him or alongside him for some reason, which makes no sense whatsoever. So, no, that's not happening. It's not. Stop it. Stop it. And finally, the stalwart of the WWE milk cart. We are 7 weeks away from christening the newest golden gallon of the WWE milk carton. A golden gallon is someone who has been on the WWE main roster, perfectly healthy, and has not been on television or pay-per-view for a full calendar year. The last performers to ever do that were the almighty Colognes of Primo and Epico. Epico was the first god. He was on the main roster. He'd been on the milk carton for nearly 14 months and not appearing on television. Primo would join him and not appear on television for about 3 weeks past a year. Who is the stalwart of the milk carton? We are 7 weeks away from christening the newest golden gallon. Arturo Ruas. Who? I think of all the sounders that I want to make for this, it's me doing that. It's going, who? It sounds a lot better than who. No, mine's better. It's a who? Arturo Ruas. We have not seen him since the September 18th episode of NXT. The debut of NXT on the USA Network. He had a match against Pete Dunne to confirm that Pete Dunne is a thing. Pete Dunne became a thing. Congratulations, Arturo. You don't have to be on television anymore. So there you go. That is the WWE milk carton. Who else is going to be due on the milk carton next week? Who is due up? Let's scroll down here and see what we got. Looks like we got Billy Kay of the Iconics. Akira Tozawa showed up on Monday Night Raw, so no, we're not leaving him. El Legado del Fantasma, if they don't show up on NXT, yeah, there's that. And finally, there's a big name that's going to show up on the milk carton next week. I'm pretty darn sure he is not going to be on television this week. So there you go. Yeah, I know. Billy Kay is going to be on the milk carton.
You gotta be joking me!
I am not joking you.
You just studied that question, hey? You got a journalism for that?
Yeah, I sure did. I count numbers.
Hey, Kayla!
I just love her voice. Her voice is just a chorus of cherubs. I mean, whenever she speaks, God weeps. Okay. All right. So that's the WWE milk carton. All right. We've got our sources. You know, I'm going to put a little more in here because I'm going to have me some more fun when the show is over with. So it's my birthday. I get to do whatever the hell I want. Man. Have some more of my sources. This is really good scotch that Deanna got me for my birthday. It's very good. Very nice and smoky. Yeah. See, that's how much we've taken down. Not bad. Not bad. This is only for special occasions, so here we go. Sources are filled because Big E 2 weeks ago was given the blessings of Kofi Kingston to do stuff for him. Stop being so selfless. You do you, big man. So last week started the singles run of Big E. And so I thought, you know what? We haven't had a class of Fantasy Booking 101 in a while. So we're going to revisit the classroom on the rules of fantasy booking, and we are going to attempt to book Big E's singles run for the next 9 months. Yeah. I know I could have put the popcorn gif of Big E up there, but that's a given, you know? Nah, I'd rather have him tossing pancakes and saying he's going to give the matches 5 pancakes. So there you go. All right. Fantasy Booking 101. Everyone fantasy books. Everyone on every professional wrestling podcast and professional wrestling fans all over the world fantasy book. We talk about matches that we would like to see and blah, 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 blah. But it's always about what matches you'd like to see, but you never talk about how you get to those matches and how long the storylines and the programs are going to be. So that's what we're going to do here. So how do you fantasy book correctly, though? All right, tapping out mediocre Lewis. Okie dokie, see you then. Wee! Fantasy Booking 101 involves 4 rules. Number 1, remember everything. If you're going to be doing any fantasy booking, you need to remember previous programs, previous matches, everything. What kind of matches did they have? How long were the storylines and programs? How decent were the matches? And what were the high spots and low spots? And more so than anything, what were the strengths and weaknesses of all characters involved? Rule number 2, book for the long haul. You don't just say you're going to have 2 people have beef on a television show and the next day have a match and that's it. You're not booking 2-week programs. You are booking for a month, potentially 2 months. You could be booking 6-month-long programs involving just 2 performers. So book for the long haul. Maybe they do a double count out. Maybe someone wins because of chicanery, like holding the ropes or pulling the tights or something like that. Book for the long haul. It leads up to a regular match and it ends in a DQ. Then you have your Extreme Rules match, and then everyone's protected, but then someone suddenly gets a friend, and alliances are formed. Book for the long haul. Number 3, you book the story. Do not have set spots in your mind of, this would look so cool if this person did this move, and then it was countered into this move, and then they put it into a submission, and then that was countered into another submission, and blah, blah, blah. That's not what you're booking. You're booking the story. Why do these people hate each other? Why do these people honor each other? Fuck honor and respect. I hate respect. Is there a title involved? Why is the title important to one person but might not be important to the other? Why is the rivalry so humongous that the title is just in the periphery? You book the story. You book for the characters involved and that the pathos and ethos that's been developed herein. And finally, the fourth rule of Fantasy Booking 101. It's not about you. It's not about what you want. It's about what's entertaining. It's about what makes a great story. It's about what keeps eyeballs on the television. It's about what keeps butts in the seats if there were seats to have butts in. It's more about what makes for great television and makes for great entertainment. Nobody gives a shit about what you think is cool. People give more a shit about why you're saying everything will become cool. If it were up to me, and if I was booking for myself and what I wanted, I would have nothing but Robert Stone. Nothing but Robert Stone. I would have him taking prop falls and wearing every form of medical equipment known to mankind. On TV. Every 5 minutes. That's what I would be doing. But I don't do that because I know that's not what everyone wants. So here we go. Let's book Big E's singles run. First off, last Friday, he had his first match in his singles run versus The Miz. John Morrison in tow. Okay, so it's only fitting that we start things off with John Morrison. This week, you should anticipate to see the Big E versus John Morrison. And I anticipate it to be just a one-off. It's just a match to confirm that Big E is going through his singles run and is a legitimate contender. They try this with so many people, but the problem is it's easier to do it with someone who is so established a character as Big E that you just have them go through a tag team that's been giving them fits singles runs wise. So you had him defeat The Miz. Now you're going to have him defeat John Morrison. Then after all of that, John Morrison and The Miz will be to the side taking care of heavy machinery since they made fun of Mandy Rose. So what are we doing after we have confirmed that Big E's run is a serious thing? So, just run with me on this. Well, not run with me, just walk with me while I hold a flag. And you just walk behind me. You can veer off if you want to. Next Friday on SmackDown, Big E comes up there and he says that he is ready, he is pumped, he is psyched. This is going so good, and he wants after a title. He wants AJ Styles. He wants to go after AJ Styles for the Intercontinental title. He's up there, he's in the ring, and he's ready. He's the monologue, he's pumped, he's psyched. I want AJ Styles. Someone comes out and interrupts him and says no. Just because you're going on a singles run and it's convenient because all of your partners are injured doesn't mean that I can't go on a singles run and I can't do my thing because it's convenient that my partner is injured. Talking about Jey Uso. He's on the milk carton right now because of the horrid karaoke segment 3 weeks ago. But if you want to legitimize Big E, and I know this sounds weird, but you put him in a storyline program where Big E thinks it's his time to shine because all of his tag team partners are hurt and he can be selfless. Well, here's a guy who's in the same boat. If you can do it, why can't I? Why are you so damn special? We beat your ass so many times. Why can't I do it? This will lead into a very lengthy, when I mean lengthy, I mean we're talking probably 6 weeks. I see them having a match at SummerSlam and it gets heated, it gets boiled over, it gets heated over. They just have at it. Because they are so passionate that they want to go on this run. This is for them. They never get this opportunity. And now they have the opportunity to do it. There's no honor in this. Oh, they hate this. Oh, they hate each other. There's no honor in this one. Because the other's preventing the other from getting what they want to achieve, that they've never had the chance to achieve. So, I'll book Big E, Jey Uso, and I'll book that going into Payback. Payback will be the resolution to that. And around about that time, I believe Jimmy Uso will be, Jimmy Uso should be back around October. So Jey Uso can do some matches here and there. You know, maybe he can get ganged up on by people, stuff, and then his tag team partner, his brother, comes out and saves him. Big E, though, comes out victorious in this program against Jey Uso that goes into Payback. All right, so Payback's over, and Big E says, all right, after probably, let's say, another match against someone like, say, Drew Gulak or Cesaro, Shinsuke Nakamura, someone like that. After that, says, damn it, I want this. AJ Styles is at ringside, and they have a match to where whoever wins the match gets AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship. Big E wins. Big E gets his shot at the Intercontinental title. And oh man, we get, you name it. You name it. Teddy Long specials, everything to lead up to it, to lead up to AJ Styles, Big E. I think we're looking at right now that September is Payback. So this will be on an episode of SmackDown, is when this will happen. In a month. So we build for a month for AJ Styles, Big E. And it happens. AJ Styles, Big E happens. And he loses. Big E loses to AJ Styles. Cleanly. AJ Styles, Big E, and Big E loses. Clean. The following SmackDown, Big E is dejected. He is depressed. He feels like he's wasted his time. He will never get this kind of opportunity. You know, because once his buds come back and everyone's healthy, it's not like, because he loves being with the New Day. He knows that he can find success with the New Day. He knows he can go no wrong with his boys. And yes, it's sad that he lost to AJ Styles, but you know what? It's always great to fall back on the boys that you love and you go back to gain that glory that you once had. Someone comes out during that monologue of Big E saying, that's okay. Came and go. It was good while it lasted. Oh well. It's time to go back to what I've always been doing. Someone interrupts him, slaps him in the face, and tells him, no, it's not over. It's not over. Who's the one that comes out and slaps him in the face? Place your bets. Place your bets. Who comes out and slaps Big E in the face to tell him that, no, your singles run is not done. You are better than this. Do not let this opportunity pass you by. Who does it? Jamel saying Kofi? No. It's not Kofi. Gil saying Xavier? No, it's no one in New Day. No one in New Day. Someone comes out, slaps Big E in the face to tell him, no, your singles run is not done. You are better than this. You get back out there. This will lead into an incredible 2-month, potentially 3-month long program. And this is the position that this guy has been wanting for a very long time. He's a guy who recommended should get this match against against AJ Styles, and that's Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan will come out, slap the taste out of Big E's mouth, or just do something along that line, saying, your run is not done. Moreover to the fact, he'll say, I need to get back to where I used to be. I've been gone for so long to be with my family, But I am back, and I am deserved to be back in the spot that I should have had. I can beat AJ Styles, but the only way that I can do that is know that I can beat the guy that had AJ Styles almost beat. That's Big E. And so we get a program of Daniel Bryan, Big E, that goes for about a good 4 weeks, 6 weeks. Could lead us up to Survivor Series. A Survivor Series match between Daniel Bryan and Big E is what I'm looking at. Daniel Bryan, Big E, Survivor Series. It may seem a little far-fetched, but it fits right in with the Daniel Bryan character. It fits right in with the Daniel Bryan character. What happens after that? It could be a number one contenders match for the Intercontinental title. AJ Styles interferes, leads to a triple threat for the Intercontinental title. It's a clusterfuck. It doesn't matter how it ends. Everyone's protected. But Big E still doesn't win. He still doesn't win. However, he has left it, and potentially he'll have maybe Daniel Bryan wins the clusterfuck, and Big E and Daniel Bryan have an Intercontinental title match or something like that. Who knows? But Big E leaves all of this more confident than ever before. He doubted himself, but now he knows he can hang. He can hang with the best of the best. And he's ready to take what is his. He wants it badly. He's had the United States title before, and he's seen the Intercontinental title, but he's never, ever had the big one. He has never had the big one. He's never had a major title. This is a story that I am booking for 9 months. We are right now, looks like we're right now around December. We're in December. Big E wants a shot at the big one. A shot at the big one. They aren't immediately going to put him against the Universal Champion. That's not going to happen. So what are they going to do? You got to build him up. Who could be standing in his way? Well, it's a good, simple one. Let's give him Sheamus. Let's give Big E and Sheamus a good 1 month run. Sheamus standing in his way to get to a world title shot. Sheamus thinks that he should get one because he's beaten the shit out of Jeff Hardy for so long. Beaten the shit out of other people for so long. We get Sheamus Big E for a good month. Maybe leads up to Royal Rumble. Leads up to confirm that Big E should get a world title shot. So he hangs with Sheamus for a good bit. Would I throw Big E, Jeff Hardy a match? Jamel asking that. I thought about that. But I think Jeff Hardy will go after the Universal title and have a Universal title match to make that his final match with the WWE, which will come up around Royal Rumble times. Royal Rumble times is about when Jeff Hardy's contract is up. That'll be his final match with the WWE. Big E Sheamus. Big E wins. It's on cloud 9. He won. And he deserves a world title match. Deserves it. Gonna happen. Who is the Universal Champion by this time? After Royal Rumble or around about this time? We mentioned it before. A lot of people have forgotten. Who has the Money in the Bank briefcase? Bray Wyatt's not going to be the champion. Braun Strowman's not going to be the champion. At one point, Otis will be Universal Champion. Otis will be Universal Champion. This happens either he takes advantage of a clusterfuck match involving The Fiend or Braun Strowman or anyone else. He takes advantage of a spot, is what happens. Otis becomes the Universal Champion taking advantage of a situation. He becomes the Universal Champion, but the people that were involved in losing that Universal Championship are too busy butting heads with each other that they aren't even paying attention to the Universal title. Otis has the Universal title. This leads up to Elimination Chamber, which is always in February. Elimination Chamber occurs. We crown a brand new Universal Champion. Big E's program continues. Big E is in the Universal title match inside the Elimination Chamber. He does not win. In fact, he's one of the final two or final three in the match. Otis is eliminated. This is where I'm kind of getting a little greedy. But I firmly believe that this is what they're booking towards. I'll break out the WrestleMania whiteboard again sometime because we really got to go through a massive overhaul on it when it comes to fantasy booking for WrestleMania. But Elimination Chamber, Universal title match. Otis going in as Universal Champion. He loses. He is eliminated. Big E is in it. He is one of the final two or final three. He is eliminated. Who is Universal Champion? Come out. The Elimination Chamber. To face Big E at WrestleMania. To have potentially recreated the Kofi Kingston story. However, it's a way better story than Kofi Kingston, where this guy who is so selfless and thinks for others so much is finally put in this position to do something for himself, to make something of himself. He was filled with doubts before, but then through friends and rivals, gets back on his horse to do this, to get and achieve and succeed in something that everyone else believes that he can do. Who is standing in his way? It could be no one but the number one heel in the entire company. King Corbin, Big E, for the Universal title at WrestleMania. It would be about a 5-week build, 6-week build after Elimination Chamber to go to WrestleMania. King Corbin at that time, he's got Shorty G with him right now alongside. He might pick up someone else to be a part of the King's Court. Who knows? Take your pick. Take anyone. It doesn't matter. Pick anyone. You want Mojo Rawley to be a part of it? Sure. Why not? But it would lead, with that, leads up to the New Day being reformed to take on King Corbin's court so that it's just Big E and King Corbin at WrestleMania. Gil saying it should be an Intercontinental title match. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. The way that I've booked this is the Big E story can be a great story. It can be a fantastic story that everyone can relate to. Where you think of others before yourself. It is the classic COVID story. Why do you wear a face mask? It is to protect others. You are thinking of others before yourself. You are sacrificing your luxuries and your convenience for the greater good of everyone else. That is what Big E has been doing almost his entire career. He has done nothing for himself. And here he is on this journey to finally achieve something for himself. I think it's I think it's a fantastic story. And one you can easily get behind. Big E does not go against Otis. Okay, Otis just unfortunately loses his title and may have a beef with anyone who has a beef with Mandy Rose, or other things happen during that time frame. We are looking 9 months down the 8 months down the line, mind you. But the Big E singles run has so many great stories to it that are just easy to write. Incredibly easy. You can't fail at this. Even how horrible a beat reader you are in a script. And what's more is, if you look at these people down the line, John Morrison, Jey Uso, AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, Sheamus, Otis, King Corbin, all of them pretty good on the mic. John Morrison, he's pretty funny on the mic, but he's only going to be in a one-off. Jey Uso can be very good on a mic. AJ Styles, very good on a mic. Daniel Bryan, very, very good on a mic. Sheamus, oh yeah, he can be an annoying one on the mic. Otis, fun-loving one, but he's not going to be a rival in this story. But then, Karen Bourbon, King Corbin. Keep your eyes on this. I'm not locking any of this. I'm not incredibly that confident in everything. I'm just so intrigued by this story. They formed it so well and introduced it so well. So, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It happens. That's what you do with fantasy booking. You just kind of shrug your head, you shrug your shoulders, go, okay. They know better than I do. They've been writing a television show for, well, hell, a lot longer than I ever have. I just watched the damn thing. That's going to do it for Wrestleview Weekly. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Man, we took it out in less than 2 hours. That was the point. We're not doing the TV reviews anymore. We're just going to do a top 5 type thing. Lighting. God, the new lighting looks fantastic. This shirt, I'm sure if I wore this shirt before I had my lighting, it probably looked a darker blue or something like that. And look at how white I am. I'm not Donald Trump orange. I am not Orange Cassidy. I'm whiter than white. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Like, share, subscribe, and everything that all the other people have been telling you to do on all of their other YouTube channels. I'm not going to patronize you or condescend or anything like that. You know, do what you want. But please, like, share, and subscribe. Try hard, you know, to entertain you guys and have you guys be a part of discussions and stuff like that. Tomorrow, I think Mike and Victoria are going to talk about Raw after Raw tomorrow night. I was supposed to cover NXT last week, but a thunderstorm came by and destroyed our modem. So thankfully I'm back online now, if you couldn't tell. Check out Mike and Victoria tomorrow night post Raw. Check me out here next Sunday. What are we going to talk about? I think I might leave it open to you guys. It's either I'm going to leave it open to you guys or we're going to do a watch along of some matches. I'm not sure. I'd love to do a Q&A with the chat room. That's what I was thinking. Throw it out there, whatever the hell you guys want to talk about. You know, I don't know. Be open for a good discussion. You know, I'm open for anything. I might open up a thread on the Facebook media page. The Wrestleview media page on the Facebook, but who knows. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Wear a face mask. Don't be an asshole. Think of everyone else before yourself. I'm going to go out on the balcony and enjoy my new sources. And as always, know when you're being sold to.